Hello everybody, my name is Mark Edwards. I'm a regional sales director with OPSWAT. I cover the large banks, insurance companies, high technology companies. Pleasure to meet you. Today I'm going to walk you through our portfolio, which protects globally the world's critical systems as well as the infrastructure. Our services are put into about three main categories, all based on Zero Trust, Meta Access, Meta Defender, and our portfolio of OT products. We also have a professional services organization, as well as a university to help improve the knowledge and competency of the security community. Let's take a look. I'm going to start first with information technology. Over on my right-hand side is Meta Access. Meta Access is based on the principle of trust no device. It's really a very deep posture check solution, which also provides remote access. It comes in a couple of different types, OEM, enterprise, as well as operational technology, or OT, which I'll talk about in just a moment. The basis of Meta Access goes back to the OASIS framework, which is about 18 years ago. Companies such as Cisco, HP, Palo Alto are actually using OPSWAT technology known as OASIS for their posture checking. Posture checking checks things such as antivirus. Is it patched? Are you running full disk encryption? Are there any applications that are running that are not allowed? It also has the ability to prevent screen capture, keylogger, and in some instances, we can run Meta Defender as well, which I'll chat about in just a moment. There's also another element of Meta Access, which will be over here on my left-hand side when I talk about the operational technology or OT components. The next thing I would like to chat about is Meta Defender. Meta Defender works under the principles of trust no file. It comes in a couple of different form factors. You can install it on your premises. We have a SaaS version of it. We embed it into our hardware, which I'll chat about as well in a moment. And there's multiple integration points with Meta Defender. What Meta Defender is at the heart of it, it provides multi-scanning. Multi-scanning will take a file, a binary, data let's call it, and rather than run one antivirus engine against it, we'll run anywhere between 8 to over 30. So statistics have proven that a single antivirus engine might detect somewhere between 70 to 70% of embedded malware, whereas when you go between 8 up to 30, 32, 33 antivirus engines, detection rates can exceed 99%. So it makes a lot more sense to have multiple antivirus engines running rather than just one. That is at the heart of Meta Defender. Another tremendous capability of Meta Defender is content disarm and reconstruct, otherwise known as CDR. We call it deep CDR because we can recursively take a file and go back and look at multiple versions embedded inside of a file. Perfect for tar, archives, those types of files. What CDR does, it takes a file and it looks at the contents. And if the contents are not described by the specification for that file type, our software simply removes it, reconstructs it, and delivers it with no impact whatsoever to the usability of that particular file. CDR is extremely valuable for zero-day attacks. So between the multi-scanning for detection, the CDR for zero-day, almost 100% protection. We also offer DLP for some customers that want to obfuscate particular data, so security numbers, driver license number, etc. Now, as I mentioned, Meta Defender has multiple ways to integrate. We also have a wonderful solution called Email Security Gateway, and we just released Email Security Cloud. What that does, same thing. Email vectors, as we all know, is still the preferred choice for threat actors. We run it through the multi-scanning engines. We also can do the CDR. We also can unpack password-protected files, which other competitors cannot do. On top of that, our email solution provides anti-phishing and industry-leading anti-spam. An additional offer that we have using the Meta Defender engine is secure storage. This is for your data that's at rest. So data that's at rest, it's been scanned, or maybe it wasn't scanned. We run Meta Defender continuously or on some predetermined schedule that you, the customer, decide, and it looks for malware. The other reason why you want to do continuous scanning is because additional threats and malware are discovered after maybe they passed through an antivirus engine previously. So by going back and continuously scanning, we may be able to find some additional threats that might have been missed the first time. That's secure storage. It also is wonderful because most of our clients have their data now in the cloud. It's fully compatible with AWS S3 buckets, Azure Blob, Box, Google Drive, OneDrive, and a number of other technologies. Another use for our MetaDefender is through the ICAP protocol devices. So companies such as F5, A10, VMware, Citrix, Dell EMC, data comes in, it hits an ICAP compatible device, they can peel the traffic off, goes to MetaDefender. We do the same thing. We run it through antivirus engines, CDR if appropriate, DLP. We return the clean file, it then can be forwarded on. So it's another integration point, again, compatible ICAP devices. The next thing I'd like to talk about is MetaDefender Drive. So think of it as a USB device that has the MetaDefender components built into it, which you could put into a trusted or untrusted workstation. The idea is, particularly for consultants, work from home, individuals that need to get into protected areas, we're not quite sure what's on that workstation. So MetaDefender Drive, you insert it, it runs a full scan, it looks for malware, can remove it, and then that workstation then can go from an untrusted to a trusted environment. That's MetaDefender Drive. And then finally, over here, I want to start talking about Kiosk. So Kiosk still runs the MetaDefender engines. So we got 3 different form factors. This is the 3 series. Over here is a mobile 2 series. And what's not pictured is a 1 series, which is a desktop as well as wall mountable. So what these things are wonderful for is that you take your removable media, which might be your PowerPoints, presentations, firmware upgrades, things that employees need to bring to work or technicians need to move into an OT environment, and you actually can put it into a variety of different inserts, CD-ROM, USB, of course, and what it does, MetaDefender runs its engines, looks for anything that's on that removable media, removes it, can run CDR against it, you pull it out, now it's safe. The next thing I'd like to talk about is NetWall. NetWall is a unidirectional or bidirectional gateway. It's better than a firewall, it's certified for compliance, and essentially allows for data that's now been deemed safe to transfer over into a protected, oftentimes air-gapped environment or a networked environment. Also, some of my clients are worried about data from the protected environment leaking to the outside world. So you can go one direction or you can go the other direction with NetWall. We also have vaults. So after the data's been cleaned, you want to put your data someplace as a repository. So the vault is a secure storage as well as data transfer capability. Meta Access, which I mentioned initially in the OT presentation, is up here. And what that does, it allows for remote access into a secure environment. So think of an energy company, SCADA environments, where the technicians need to be able to update firmware, do patches, review logs, do a variety of different tasks without them having to physically go out to those sites. Meta Access OT allows them to dial in securely, being after authenticated, as well as posture checked, to allow them access into the OT environment. Now, that's wonderful. Neuralizer is one of our newest offers, and it provides asset discovery, inventory, as well as OT network monitoring. So up here at the top, all of the devices inside of a protected OT environment, it's nice to know what's in there. And so Neuralizer provides that wonderfully, as well as looks for any unusual activity, so it can serve as an OT SOC notification element. We also have USB firewall and client. That protects engineering workstations and risky removable media. So in the case when a technician is actually on site, there's a hub and a place for him or her to be able to put their data and work from that workstation before they ultimately get to their end devices. OT Fuse is the last line of defense. It's basically an industrial firewall. It's an intrusion detection system, as well as an intrusion prevention system, IDS and IPS. What that does, it protects all the way down to the Purdue level 0, which are things such as the motors, pumps, the valves, basically the workstations that do the work in the world's most critical infrastructure locations. I'd like now to speak about professional services. We have a professional services organization which can optimize new software deployments, which really helps expedite and maximize the client's return on investment. Also, the professional services organization can provide ongoing management and the operation of the products. Finally, we have an academy. We have thousands upon thousands of students. We have over 400 current courses for both IT as well as OT. We provide certifications, training, as well as courses on the OPSWAT product line for power users and administrators. As you can see, OPSWAT has a plethora of services, software, and capabilities to protect the world's critical infrastructure, your critical data, to make sure that the threat actors aren't able to compromise. I hope you enjoyed this video. Thank you very much. You can find out more at opswat.com. Thank you.